Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show, another episode of Title Talk with Locks, although we do need to rethink of a new name, I think, Playoff Push with Locks, maybe, something like that, I don't know. But we're going to do a bit of a weekend preview, chat about this weekend's games. No fixture for Ipswich. Leicester have got a massive game at home against West Brom. We're going to have to start chatting about Cardiff. I, for one, said and did write them off. I think Locks might have even agreed that he didn't think they'd get top two. However, we're going to have to start talking about them now. They beat Preston comfortably the other night, and if they get 3 points against Cardiff, they're a point behind Leicester and on the same as us, provided Leicester don't win, of course. And then on Monday night, Leeds have got a huge game, massive game away at the Riverside against Middlesbrough. But before we get into all that, let's find out how Locks is doing. How are you doing? Are you still Enzo out, bro? Are you cooled a bit?
You know what, mate? I'm trying my bloody best here.
Starting to believe
mate.
again, yeah?
No, not believe. But I'm trying to be positive, mate. I'm not going to sit here today and say it's no chance that we go up and stuff. I've got my prediction that we will finish third. That is my prediction. But I'm going to try and be positive in this chat, mate. So because I've spoken to Leeds fans, I've spoken to Ipswich fans. They're just as worried as we are, so there's no need for me to kind of go over the top and be like, we've got no chance, we've got zero chance, when clearly Ipswich and Leeds aren't at their best either. So
no, exactly. This is what I keep trying to say. Obviously, sometimes you're in a bubble like with just your own fans, right? And you only see their opinion. And when I'm doing live streams or whatever, it's all majority is Leeds fans. And then you've just got to try and apply the same logic you're applying to your club to every other club, because as poor as Leeds have been, literally in the last two games, I think, or the last round of fixtures, 1 point was gained from a possible 9 between us and Ipswich. It's wild. So it shows everyone's faltering at the same time. Before we touch on our fixtures, mate, what do you make to the fact that Ipswich don't play? Like, obviously, Ipswich don't play now till next weekend. I think a few of them have gone on holiday. Do you think it's going to be a good thing for them to rest and maybe take their mind off it, or what?
I just can't. I don't know, man. I can't call it. I mean, I've said before that Ipswich have their last 3 games in 1 week. They play their third to last game, and then 1 week later is the final game. So it's, you talk about obviously tiredness, maybe that the players will be tired. The Ipswich players playing 3 games in a week, but they've been there before. We've been there before. We've all been there before. Recently, literally as recent as last week. So, I think the top 3 or 4 are going to change now multiple times over the next 2 weeks. And the thing is that if Leeds win their 2 games, and Ipswich are there going into their third to last game next weekend, and they're like, bloody hell, like Leeds have won 2. Let's say Leeds have won 2. That's going to really affect things mentally, really. I mean, Ipswich then will go from being, pressure off in a way, if you get what I mean, because they're not expected to win the league, or they weren't expected, to then suddenly they have to win both games. They have to win them. If Leeds win both, or if Leicester win both, which I doubt, but if it does happen, imagine Leicester and Leeds both win their 2 games. Imagine they both win it, and then it's suddenly Ipswich. They have to win, otherwise 100%. they're over. And I've been listening to a lot of content recently. Leeds fans, Ipswich fans, Southampton fans, and pretty much everyone is saying that whoever drops points over the next 2 games is probably out of the top 2 hunt, because there's now not 3 teams. Obviously earlier in the year, mate, Leicester were done. Leicester had won the title, and it was between Leeds and Ipswich, so 2 teams. Then obviously Leicester brought back into it, so then it's between 3 teams, and now all of a sudden it's between 4 teams. I can't see 3 teams dropping points like in the next 2. I could see 2 teams doing it, and I think whoever does drop points is probably going to be out of it, mate.
Yeah, it's wild, isn't it? Everyone keeps reminding me that I said Southampton were done. It's doing me a tits in, but this is the game, mate. We know the game, don't we? This is the game. In terms of, you mentioned there Ipswich having a different kind of pressure, no one expecting them to be up there, and obviously that would change if we did win, like you're saying, it's a big if. But do you think that's what's helped Southampton over the past week or so? Because we all wrote them off, everyone wrote them off, press, media, and that's probably galvanised them, and now they're looking, like I say, if you drop points, let's say you lose, obviously Leeds won't have played, and they beat Cardiff. They're on the same points as us and a point behind you, and then they play you on Tuesday. So, do you think now the pressure flicks slightly on them, and then it becomes? Do you know what I mean? It feels to me, right, mate? They won 20. They went undefeated 24 games or whatever. Pressure's on. Oh, we're still not up in the top 2. Then they lose a load. Then the pressure's off again, and the shackles are off. And it's a bit like Leeds United, bro. If we're being honest, we're 17 points behind. No pressure on us. We're just knocking off wins. As soon as we got to the top of the table, international break, 10 days, came back, done. It was the pressure too much. Do you think that's what's been helping Southampton?
Oh, mate, look, don't get me wrong. I have doubt. A lot of people have doubts over Brussels Martin, mate. I think that
he's a bell end.
He's young. He's a knob. He's a knob. He's young, and obviously he's inexperienced in a way. Obviously, I know he's managed MK Dons and Swansea, but he's never been really in this situation before. However, what I will say is, without a shadow of a doubt, the reason that they have made this comeback is because of, one, Ipswich, Leeds and Leicester not being very good, and two, they have been pressure free, because I think Southampton fans have probably thought since January it's done in terms of top 2, and some wouldn't admit it. I know they were giving Leeds grief not too long ago, even probably February time, but a lot of Southampton fans kind of did think that, all right, it's looking very unlikely now. And as recent as last weekend, mate, Russell Martin said top 2's done. He said that. So he knows what he's doing there, I think, because he's not stupid. He looks at the table, he sees the points difference, he sees the tough fixtures that Leeds have got, that Ipswich have got, that Leicester have got, and he knows inside that there's a chance that it can happen. And now, mate, it's looking like it's mad. It's actually looking likely that they will get top 2 in my eyes, because it's in their hands. I know it's also in Leicester's hands, but then Southampton beat Leicester. Suddenly, Southampton have got 4 games left as well, right? Like Leicester. So if they beat Leicester, it could happen. So
do you think, mate, I'm looking at their fixtures now, right? They're away at Cardiff, away at Leicester, at home against Stoke, and then away at Leeds. If you're a betting man right now, do you predict they get top 2 with them 4 fixtures?
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
They drop points, man. For me, they drop points.
Bro, honestly, that last game of the season is going to be absolutely wild, mate. It really is. I genuinely can see that being a...
I'll be sick, I think. On stream.
I mean, I know you said a long time ago you think it will be done by the last day. Obviously, now you know it won't be. It won't be. However, I think it is going to go down to who wins between Leeds and Southampton. And you never know. And you never know, mate. If it's a draw, you could then get Leicester going in. You know what I mean? Like if it was a draw.
Like if both teams draw, you and Ipswich get in, and then if we win, we get in with one other kind of thing.
Yeah. Because I think Southampton will beat Leicester. I do. Yeah, I do. And that's bad for me and for you, obviously. But I think Southampton will beat Leicester.
The mad thing is, mate, I'm genuinely looking at that fixture and thinking, say they beat Cardiff, how do I want that to go? As a Leeds fan, how do I want Tuesday to go? A draw's probably best, mate, if I'm being honest. Point apiece. That's probably the best. If we beat Borough, even if you win, we'd still be a point behind you, yeah? And then I'm looking at that game, I'm thinking, and they've beaten Cardiff. I say, if they both get a point, they're 2 points above us, Leicester, but it keeps Southampton back. We then beat QPR. We'd then go over you by 1 point. I don't know.
Well, the thing you need to remember is... Yeah, I think the thing you need to remember, mate, is the game in hand, the Leicester game in hand that you and lots of Leeds fans have been talking about for a long time is that game. So
Tuesday,
I think you would probably be better off with a Southampton win, personally.
Do you think?
Because then if you beat them on the last day, it's in your hands. If you beat them, that cancels out that win anyway. And it also means that Leicester have dropped 3 points, their game in hand. So I think it's better for you if Southampton were to win, to be honest, mate. However, just because you can then go and beat them on the last day. So, yeah, I've said for the last few weeks, like, I just don't want any part of. I don't care if it, because the title will go down to the last day, of course. But as long as top two, Leicester secure top two by the last day, because this is it, mate. I'm talking. I'm talking about Ipswich. Well, I'm talking about Ipswich's mentality, knowing that they'll be promoted in a week from their third to last game to the last game. It's a week. Whereas now Leicester, Leicester, the players need to have their mindset that if we win the next three, we're up. It's done. We're up. Yeah. 3 games, 3 wins. West Brom, Southampton, Preston.
Did you see the way that Preston rolled over for Southampton the other day, mate? So I think, that's 3 points, man. So these next 2 are huge. And I think the same for Leeds. The next 2 fixtures for both our teams are massive, and you've got very difficult games. Very difficult games.
I just think the next fixture, the next fixture alone is like, if Leicester go and lose to West Brom, it changes everything. If Leicester go and beat West Brom, it's suddenly Leicester in a really, 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 really good position. They'll be top of the league. Leicester will for a week, obviously, until Ipswich play, and then again, if Leeds go and win their game, then there's 2 teams now above Ipswich, and it's just, I don't know, mate. This is stress, bro. This is the one thing I didn't want. It's the one thing I didn't want, but I do feel for you, because that last game is going to be mental. It really is. Like,
I did a watch along for the Southampton game and switched it off at half time because my head was burnt out. And then I just realised, I was like, I'm tired. I'm tired of this season. I'm tired of it. Like, it's really got to business end, and we're mentally drained. So imagine what the players are feeling like. Do you know what I mean? Because genuinely, I look at it now and I'm like, oh God, like if Leicester win tomorrow and then, Southampton beat Cardiff, Monday is going to be horrible. And it's just like, it's just pressure. I don't need, let alone players, man. It's mental.
Yeah, I just think I don't trust Leicester with pressure. I never have. With the top 4, the 2 years top 4, bottling top 4, there was pressure on us. People will say, well, you were the underdogs then as well. I get it, but we were. I think in those 2 years in the Premier League, mate, no one spent longer in the top 4 than Leicester for those 2 years, and both
that's
times
even the champions,
5th.
Right? Isn't that even more? So
that was because it was those 2 years where Man City was awful, and then they just went on a charge at the end. So, and then obviously relegation. We had a good period in kind of mid-season, and then after the World Cup, we were terrible again when the pressure was on, and then this year, if anything, it's mad, mate, because when we were 17 points clear, if anything, there was no pressure because everyone just thought Leicester were going to do it. So in my eyes, there weren't any pressure. So, but now there is enormous pressure because everyone knows that if Leicester, it's a bigger failure for Leicester than it would be for 100%. Leeds.
Yeah,
than it would be for Leeds. So that's why I think the pressure is enormous. And Southampton and Ipswich, I don't think there's much pressure at all for them to finish top 2 now. Whereas Leeds and Leicester, the 2 that have the most expensive squads in the league, the 2 that probably have the most expensive wages in the league, the 2 that have probably been, over the course of a season, the 2 best teams in the league.
Yeah, I agree.
Those 2, our 2 teams are probably the 2 teams with the most pressure, and it's whether they can handle it. I trust Leeds more than Leicester. So
I don't want to give Southampton a free ride as well, because they've spent a hell of a lot of money, mate. They bought Flynn Downs, Will Smallbone. They bought Ross Stewart from Sunderland. I know he's been injured. They got Shea Adams, Armstrong, Kyle Walker-Peters. Don't be giving them a free ride, mate. Just because they've come from nowhere, it's still a failure for me if they don't go up, bro.
I don't know. I think, I hear what you're saying, mate. Personally, for me, like Leeds,
bro, they've got Howard Bellis at the back. You wanted him, I wanted him. You know what I mean? They've got David Brooks. They've got a top team, man. We're letting them get off with it here, I think.
Yeah, but Leeds and Leicester's squads are better. They are.
Yeah, fair.
They
fair.
are.
Okay, I'll give you that.
And
maybe.
I mean, again, just look at the price, the cost. Look at the wages. You know, I know we even trump you with wages, but you know, we have the highest wages, and you know, it's I'm just yeah, I don't think it's as big of a failure. But again, like you said, maybe that is because everyone wrote them off. Yeah, maybe because we've had longer to accept Southampton being crap. That maybe that's why, you know, that my head's where it is.
Imagine considering how it's ebbed and flowed all the way that the 3 relegated teams all got promoted. I'm all over it. And like, sorry Ipswich, but just get me out of this division. If we all 3 go up, then I'm cool with it. You know what I mean?
Although you probably want Ipswich. You know, you've probably got a better chance if a West Brom or an Ipswich, let's say, go up. You know what I mean? Yeah. You've got a better chance of survival next year. Leicester on the other. Actually, no, you're better off with Leicester because we're getting a
going up there. That points deduction, bro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. You'll be like 30 points clear of us by fucking Christmas.
5 games in and we're already 30 points clear, bro. That's what it'll be.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Right, let's talk about tomorrow's game then. Obviously, I'll be doing a watch along on my channel. Do you think being at home against West Brom helps or hinders, mate? How do you see it? Because this is a big game, mate. Anyone in a one... Genuinely, if I were to back any manager in a one-off game, I'd back Corberan. And I think he'll have a plan for you. I think he's going to be low block. It's going to be counter-attack football. You know, if you don't take your chances in that first half, a bit like Leeds against Blackburn, a bit like you did against Plymouth, could be a long day for you, mate. A long day.
I mean, I have to say it helps us being at home because the last 2 home games we won, we beat Birmingham, we beat Norwich.
And Norwich were flying at the time as well, to be fair.
They were, although they did set up really strangely against us after we scored. But the thing is, mate, you know, all season, after nearly every loss that we've had, I've heard Enzo Maresca come out and say they didn't set up as we expected, or they didn't play like we thought they'd play. Why not tomorrow you set up differently? You set up differently to how fucking West Brom think you're going to do. Because West Brom know. Every team that comes to the King Power knows exactly what Leicester City are going to do. Do something different. Shock them. For once, you be the man that shocks the opposition with how you set your team up. I'm not expecting 4-4-2 with Tom Cannon and Jamie Vardy up front and, you know, fucking, I don't know, bring back Wes Morgan and Robert Huth or something. I'm not expecting anything like that, mate. I'm just expecting a different tempo, maybe. You know, a couple different, you know, a couple changes to the team sheet. You know, that's all I'm expecting because, yeah, I agree completely. West Brom's probably the hardest game out of the 4 that we have left. It's tougher than Southampton in my eyes.
You think?
Yeah, because I think Southampton are going to want to come and play against us.
Yeah. True.
And we've got a better chance if they come out. Again, it depends on what Russell Martin does, but they need a win if they want to finish top 2, you know, Southampton. So they came to play, or we went to their place, but they played against us earlier in the season and we smacked them up 4-1. So if anything, I'm just praying and hoping West Brom come as well, wanting to play. I doubt it because Carlos will know what he needs to do. But if they do, don't get me wrong, mate. If Southampton and West Brom come to King Power thinking we're wanting to play football and try and win the game, I think we could smack them both. If we smack West Brom tomorrow, suddenly the confidence goes from rock bottom to sky high. 100%. And then that could actually then lead us on to 4 wins on a row. You just don't know.
Yeah,
but
100%.
If West Brom come tomorrow and park the bus and we can't break them down and we lose 1-0, or even if it's 0-0, even if it's 0-0.
Part the bus.
Yeah, even if it's 0-0, bro. Again, another game, no goals. Another game without a win. Suddenly, then the confidence for Southampton's shocking. It's rock bottom again. So, it's going to be tough, mate. I mean, I hope we win. I've predicted a draw, mate. I predicted 1-1. So we'll see what happens. But yeah,
I think we could see a draw, bro. I think could go as far as to say 0-0, if I'm honest. You know,
could
0-0. But like you say, I do agree with you, and I think this is the same for every team. And I think you made a good point about whoever drops points. But on the flip side as well, if we come back from what has been sort of a mini break for us, really, between games, and you win that first game with 2 left after that, or 3 in your case, you could conceivably go on and win the rest. Do you know what I mean? It could be one of them. My next fear is if we win, that everyone else fecking wins at the same time, and it might be like, oh, for God's sake, you know.
But that's better. That's better than losing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
everyone winning's better than everyone winning, but you losing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
100%. Yeah,
I saw someone on Twitter yesterday.
That final day, bro, could be like that. Aguero, we could have one of them moments, bro. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, mate. I mean, I've seen people on Twitter saying West Brom, no, they're on the beach. I'm like, what do you mean on the fucking beach? You know, I know they've pretty much secured playoffs, but like they want to, they want to carry form,
exactly, bro. Exactly. Farker said this point earlier on in the season. He says teams who rest players in the playoffs, notoriously don't do well. Because they totally mess everything up and all that. So you need to be continuously just putting, even if you're getting points, just don't get beat. Be in decent form for the playoffs, man.
Oh, mate, West Brom, if they come out of the King Power tomorrow with 0-0, they will be buzzing.
Happy,
they will be buzzing.
100%. Because it gives them a confidence going into if they played you as well, bro. Do you know what I mean? And it dents your confidence if you had the playoffs. It's true, though. It's true.
You know what I thought about last night, actually? So, how does it work in the playoffs? Is it third versus fourth?
Six.
And
third versus sixth, fourth versus fifth.
Third versus sixth, fourth versus fifth. Okay, cool. Yeah, all right. Yeah. No, because I was thinking in my head, is there a world
third gets you Norwich? So like, imagine Ipswich finish third. They're done, man. They're done. But I think it'll stay as it is. Just third and fourth's going to switch round. Do you know what I mean?
I was imagining a world last night, mate. No word of a lie. In where there's a playoff final between Leicester and Leeds.
Oh, don't imagine.
Imagine.
Oh, well, it could happen, mate. Third and fourth. It could happen third and fourth, and then we win our games. Yeah.
Oh, bro, I honestly wouldn't. I wouldn't speak to you ever again if you beat us in a playoff final. I'm unfollowing you.
There'd be no post-match reaction. I tell you that much.
Oh, bro, you won't see me ever again, mate. You won't see me ever again.
Oh, it'd be mad. So that's your game out of the way. We've both gone for a draw, which, you know, it'd be amazing for us. Obviously, Southampton take on Cardiff away from home. Cardiff, would you say that, I'm just looking at the league table, bro. Where are they? 11th. Not getting yeah, they're on the beach, bro. On the beach.
I'd be very surprised if Cardiff do anything in that game. It will be.
Did you see how many players they had injured as well?
Yeah.
Mental. I think let me list these off. So, Perry NG, Carlon Grant, Collins, Bowler, Callum Robinson, all ruled out for Saturday. So that's like first teamers, 5, 6, or whatever it is. No Aaron Ramsey, all that sort of stuff. So Perry and G being one of their better players all season. That's got Southampton comfortable win written all over it, I think.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah. The legs will be wide open on the Cardiff side, mate. I think, and the worrying thing then is, I know they then Southampton play us after, but then they've got Stoke. Stoke could be safe by then. They could be up. You know, it depends. You want, if anything, you want Birmingham to keep winning, mate, so that it's closer between them and Stoke. But, man, it's. I mean, Stoke got battered as well, didn't they? Was it against?
Yeah, man. The league's wild, bro. The league is like look at Coventry, bro. They got battered by Birmingham 3-0. Like, that's insane for me. Like, considering how well Coventry have been playing, the league's just insane, bro.
Yeah. I think for me, I mean, I know our the channel we're big fans of, the second tier. I know they do their banker of the weekend.
Clickbait as hell they have been.
Banker of the weekend, bro. Southampton to beat.
Is that what they went with? Yeah?
Cardiff. No, I'm saying it. I'm saying banker of the weekend. Yeah. Southampton, to beat Cardiff all day, mate. All day.
Yeah, I think so. Right, last game, mate. We play Monday. No tie for Ipswich. We're away at the Riverside. I'm glad Luke Ayling can't play because he's had massive amounts of assists recently. So that's a big loss for them, but this is what they would call a Yorkshire derby. They still consider themselves. He's on loan, bro. He's on loan.
Oh, I thought he went permanently.
No, his contract ends in the summer.
Oh, okay.
So he'll be a free. But nah, he's still on loan. Same with Greenwood's there. He's on loan, but he's not been playing as much. But Latty Lars in form, scored against us at Ellen Road as well. I do worry about the counter-attack because they looked good against Ipswich. They nearly got a winner as well. Isaiah Jones, Finn Azaz. They've got some good players. We've just got to be clinical. I do think we'll create. Be interesting to see the lineup. but it's about being clinical, which we've not been of late. Like, I don't know if you watched that Blackburn game, but when you watch it back, when you watch it back with less emotion, the amount of chances Leeds missed was, I think their keeper Ashley Pears, I think it's Ashley, but Pears anyway, he got man of the match, and rightly so. And I just think on another day we win that comfortably. So yeah, we just got to find the back of the net, bro, man.
Yeah, it's I've seen some talk over the last few days about how people have called it like a derby, but then obviously the Leeds fans are like, it's not a derby for us. It's just, it's a derby for them. But Middlesbrough theoretically should be on the beach. They ain't getting playoffs.
Not. Yeah.
It just depends on how much they actually care about beating Leeds, mate. I don't know. If they're not really too bothered and they are on the beach, then what? I could see you spanking them, mate. You know what I mean? 3-0. So I think you will win. I'd be very, very surprised if you didn't win. I think that there is that possibility. If you still haven't if you still not had the kick up the arse yet and whatever. But if you lose that game
over. It depends on the other results. It depends on the other. If you lost, Southampton lost, and we lost, it won't be that damaging. But if you win, Southampton win, and we lose, game over. It's game over.
I don't think we're going to have another game week where we all drop points. I don't think that's going to happen anymore. I don't think that will happen anymore. I think we've had our couple weeks of all dropping points, and now I think it's at least. Oh, it's grim. At least 2 of the 4. It's mad that we're talking about a 4, by the way. But yeah, at least 2 of the 4 will win their games. The remaining 3. So yeah, we'll see what happens, mate. But I do think you'll beat them. I'll say 3-0, mate, for that one. Yeah, 3-0 Leeds.
I daren't predict these days after my Blackburn shocker, but
that was 3-0, wasn't it? Did you say 3-0?
Yeah. Listen, it could have been, it should have been, but it is what it is. Sammy Smodic's flying. You've got them last day, right?
Yeah.
Up the Schmodics, man. Up the Schmodics.
Nah, man. They'll be safe. We'll win the last 2, bro. When was the last time you heard me be this confident?
No, I know.
We will win the last 2 games.
We will be there if you get beat by West Brom. Let's see if you're still saying this.
Well, I don't think it'll be enough. We'll win the last 2. I don't think it'll be enough. I think we need to win that 3rd one, whether it's West Brom or Southampton. If we lose both or draw both, I will completely rule out the top 2. Even though I think we'll win the last 2, I think Ipswich, Leeds, or Southampton, I think one of them teams, one of you 3, I think will win 3 games. And that'll be enough.
That'd be amazing. That would be amazing. And listen, if we go on and win all 3 and we don't go up, then you just have to hold your hands up. But I'm confident we can still do it. There's been a lot of people writing us off, loads, even within the fan base. And listen, everyone's allowed to fan differently, but for me, you've got to believe while it's still mathematically possible, you have to believe. Listen, mate, I'm just looking at the time now when we're recording this. It's 12:08, so you'd be like 22 minutes away from that game against West Brom. What do you think you're doing, mate? How's the nerves? How's the ground as well? Like, are the clappers out?
Fuck off.
Sorry, but go on, how's your nerves?
Bro.
It's horrible, isn't it? Nervous now, and it's 24 hours away, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I've done. You know what? I had a funny conversation last night, mate, with a Leeds fan on a different channel, and they meant.
What's the channel again? Shout them out. West Yorkshire, isn't it? What was it? Sorry.
West Yorkshire Football Show. And
that's one.
Copying
you
those last 2 words. But yeah, and the conversation came about mind games that I have apparently been playing with Leeds.
That's
fans.
what everyone keeps saying, that you're doing this as though, like, I know.
I did say actually that I don't like to play mind games with Leeds fans. I like to play mind games with Joe. Okay, that's what it is. But no, it's not. It's with myself, because if I am expecting Leicester to finish 3rd, when it happens, I won't be as disappointed, if you get me, because I'm kind of accepting now we will finish 3rd. If anything better happens, then I'm buzzing. So, tomorrow, mate, I'm going to be obviously shitting it, but in my head, I've accepted 3rd place. I've accepted a playoff run, which won't last very long. It will last 2 legs. That's it. And that's it. So if we can go and beat West Brom, suddenly things look great. If we lose or draw,
We will be there.
I fear for Enzo Maresca and the players tomorrow if we go 1-0 down, because it is going to get toxic very quickly. And if anything, mate, I hope that for the last day against Blackburn, we have actually something to celebrate, because Union FS, who is the group at Leicester that organise all the tifos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They revealed a few weeks ago that they had contacted the club asking for permission to do a Jamie Vardy tifo in case it was his last game of the season. The club have confirmed it, have authorised it in the last few days. And I've also heard from other people within the club, in the know and all that. But I've heard from I've heard from other people that actually Jamie Vardy's contract will not be renewed in the summer. So this will be Vardy's last game, Blackburn, as long as he's fit. So I hope that we've got something to celebrate there, because although we will all be in a celebration mood regardless, just over Jamie Vardy at the end, whatever, saying
you want him to
him.
go out with promotion,
with the trophy as well,
yeah,
with the trophy.
Nice. Yeah,
and there will be a Jamie Vardy movie. I know it's been spoken about for a couple of years. I think what a turn. You've got your midway through twist where they get relegated, and then at the end he wins promotion and he sails off into the sunset, which is probably the MLS, maybe. So
maybe he gives us the Aguero moment, bro. Vardy.
I would cry, mate.
As long as I'm not Phil Jones on the pitch like that with me top off, as long as that's not Leeds United, then you can have that Vardy moment as long as we finish second, man. Please.
Oh, mate, I would love nothing more. That would be the greatest. Yeah, that would just be insane. Yeah,
it would be good. I can't lie. Right, folks, I think we'll leave it there. Always enjoy chatting with Locks, and I know a lot of you folks have really enjoyed these chats as well. Make sure you check out Locks on Tifosi Nation TV and, of course, at Leicester City Fan TV. Yeah, by the time you're watching this, it'll be the evening. I'll have done the presser reaction, so make sure you go back and watch that. And then it's game day. So if you're watching this later on, we'll be ready for Carlos Corberan. Up the baggies.
I have a question, Joe, before you finish. Do you remember at the start of the season when I obviously predicted the points record and, you did the little short about, don't go anywhere and all that?
Yeah.
If we go up and you stay down, are you still gonna go back to that video and post a follow up, or are you gonna leave?
I'll be in hiding, bro. I'll be in hiding. Listen, the worst thing is, I've already started to have Southampton fans coming because I wrote them off and I was giving. So if we don't go up, I'm gonna have Leicester, Southampton, and Ipswich fans coming at me, and it's all part of the game. It's all fun as long as no one abuses. They get blocked. If it's fun, that's fine. I don't mind it. But I'll just be muting them all. I've already booked a hike, mate, in the Lake Districts for the 5th of May. So I'm away. Like, my phone will be off. I'll be away on the mountains somewhere. But yeah, it's going to be rough.
Just make sure you do an LUFC Lewis and go back and delete everything, mate.
There'll be no deleting from me. Deleting's cheating. Although I did when I got... Yeah, I did the last one. I did delete it. Here's something I want to ask you, though. I don't know... Well, I think you have been keeping track of it. Do you remember at the start of the season we did Fantasy Premier League and you used all your chips early doors? And you've got this points gap on me. And I keep trying to pull you in. And I'm getting closer. And then Cole Palmer, who you... you had him as your captain. You pulled away again. Just to let you know, I'm closer. And my triple captain's getting played this weekend. And my bench boost is getting saved for the next double game week on game week 37. So I will pass you, mate. I
didn't know I've been living in your head rent free on the FPL. That's the first time. Bro, I didn't even know I was in a league with you, mate. I actually
you set it up. Don't lie, you set it up. Bro,
I swear down, I have not checked that league probably since.
There's two people. There's two people in my head on Fantasy Prem, right? You and Ash. Now Ash has turned it in, and I'm so close to catching over him. So when I beat you both on the penultimate day, and I'll just go, see. I told you it's a marathon, not a sprint. But the gap, mate, you're on 1890 and I'm on 1843.
Oh, you ain't getting me, bro. You ain't getting me.
I am, bro. I am.
Anyway. If you triple captain Haaland and he won't do fucking shit.
I'm triple captaining Jota. That's my pick. Double game week. He's back. We'll see. We will be there.
Anyway, ACL in the 10th minute.
Yeah, exactly. Make sure you smash a like on this video. Check out Locks. Subscribe to the channel. We're getting so close to 30k. Please, I want to achieve it before the end of the season. Hit the notification bell, and I'll see you in a bit. Peace out, folks. Bye-bye.